You cut carbs. You counted every calorie. You pushed yourself through long cardio sessions until your legs burned. On paper, it should be working. The deficit is there. The effort is there. The discipline is there. But when you look in the mirror, that stubborn layer around your midsection hasn't moved. Worse, it looks softer, puffier, almost inflamed. Here's the truth most people never hear. This isn't a math problem. It's a survival signal problem. Your body doesn't just respond to food, it responds to perceived threat. And when your nervous system believes you're under pressure from work stress, sleep deprivation, overtraining, or aggressive dieting, it activates a biochemical protection mode. At the center of that response is cortisol, your primary stress hormone. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Visceral fat, the deeper abdominal fat around your organs, is biologically different from the fat on your hips or legs. It contains a high density of cortisol receptors. Think of them like antenna towers tuned specifically to stress signals. When cortisol rises, that belly fat doesn't ignore it. It responds. And over time, it expands. This creates a feedback loop. Stress raises cortisol, cortisol signals fat storage, visceral fat releases inflammatory chemicals, inflammation triggers more cortisol. The fat literally reinforces the stress cycle that helps it survive. That's why someone can look relatively lean elsewhere, but still carry a stubborn midsection. Their body isn't in fat burning mode, it's in emergency preservation mode. When cortisol remains elevated for too long, your system assumes one of two things. You're in a famine or you're under threat. In both cases, burning stored energy, especially emergency belly fat, becomes the last priority. Instead, your body locks it down. And if you don't understand this mechanism, you'll keep blaming willpower when biology is actually in control. But this is only half the story, because even if you eat perfectly clean, even if you cut sugar completely, your body has another trick that can keep fat loss stalled. In session 2, we're going deeper, into the liver, insulin, and why you can have high blood sugar even while fasting. You might be thinking, okay, stress raises cortisol, but I eat clean, my insulin must be low. Not necessarily. Here's the frustrating twist. Even if you eat zero sugar, even if you're fully keto, even if you haven't eaten in 14 hours, your blood sugar can still rise. How? Because your liver is not passive, it's a biochemical factory. When cortisol increases, it sends a command. We need energy, now. Your liver responds through a process called gluconeogenesis, literally creating new glucose from amino acids and other substrates. So imagine this. You wake up, you haven't eaten, but you're stressed. Cortisol rises. Your liver releases freshly manufactured glucose into your bloodstream. Your pancreas detects that glucose and releases insulin to control it. Now you have elevated cortisol and insulin while fasting. And insulin is the master switch that suppresses fat burning. This is why some people say, I'm doing everything right. I'm fasting, I'm low carb, but why isn't the fat moving? Because if stress is high enough, your body can create its own sugar and block fat loss from the inside. You're not running on dietary carbs, you're running on stress-generated carbs, and the fat stays locked. This hormonal combination, high cortisol plus high insulin, creates a metabolic traffic jam. Your body stays in fuel production mode, not fuel release mode. Over time, this pattern also reduces metabolic flexibility, your ability to smoothly switch between burning glucose and burning fat. That's when symptoms begin to stack: midsection weight gain, brain fog, afternoon crashes, cold hands and feet, difficulty sleeping. And here's the part most people miss. The very strategies used to fix the problem often make it worse. More cardio, longer fasts, more restriction. In session 3, we'll break down the 3 common healthy habits that silently keep cortisol elevated and prevent that belly fat from ever budging. Let's talk about the traps. These are habits that look disciplined, healthy, even admirable. But biologically, they can keep your body in defense mode. Trap number 1, chronic moderate cardio. For decades, we were told fat loss equals long cardio sessions. Jog for an hour, hit the elliptical daily, keep your heart rate up for as long as possible. But evolution didn't design humans for daily medium-intensity endurance. We walked long distances at relaxed paces. We sprinted briefly under high urgency. We did not jog at a steady stress level every day. Chronic moderate cardio can elevate cortisol repeatedly, especially without adequate recovery. Over time, muscle breaks down, metabolic rate drops, visceral fat storage increases. You burn engine and store fuel, belly fat. The scale may go down, but body composition worsens. Trap number 2, aggressive fasting under stress. Fasting can be powerful, but fasting while underslept, overstimulated, and overwhelmed, that's different. If your life is already high pressure and you push into 20 to 24-hour fasts regularly, your body may interpret it as famine confirmation. Thyroid activity can downshift, energy declines, stress hormones stay elevated. Instead of releasing fat, your body clings to it as protection. The goal of fasting is lower insulin, but if the fast raises cortisol enough to trigger liver glucose output, you cancel out the benefit. You're not resetting your metabolism, you're stacking stress. Trap number 3, the 3 a.m. wake up. You fall asleep exhausted, but at 2 or 3 a.m. you're wide awake, slightly racing, mind active. This is often a stress-driven blood sugar crash. As blood sugar dips during sleep, your brain senses a threat and triggers adrenaline and cortisol to correct it. That adrenaline spike wakes you up, and now you've missed deep sleep, the stage where growth hormone peaks and fat burning accelerates. Instead of recovery, you get another stress pulse, night after night. This is how the cycle continues. But here's the shift. We don't fix this by pushing harder. We fix it by signaling safety. In session 4, I'll show you exactly how to send that signal through movement timing, sleep stabilization, and smarter intensity. If cortisol is the alarm, we need to turn off the siren. The solution is not doing more. It's doing the right things at the right time. 1. The post-meal walk. After eating, blood glucose rises. Typically, insulin must rise sharply to manage it. But muscle has a unique property. When you contract muscle, it can absorb glucose without requiring as much insulin. A brisk 10 to 15-minute walk immediately after meals acts like a glucose sponge. It lowers blood sugar mechanically. Less glucose spike equals less insulin surge equals less fat storage signal. It also supports digestion and reduces post-meal stress chemistry. Instead of punishing your body with long cardio, you use strategic movement. 2. Stabilize overnight blood sugar. If you wake up at 3 a.m., your body may be running out of stored liver glycogen. A small pre-bed safety anchor can help. A teaspoon of honey with a pinch of sea salt provides a gentle glycogen hop-off and helps regulate adrenal response. This isn't about eating a full snack. It's about preventing the crash that triggers adrenaline. When you sleep deeply, cortisol drops, growth hormone rises, fat burning improves. Quality sleep beats aggressive restriction every time. 3. Microdose intensity. Instead of daily medium cardio, introduce short bursts of high intensity once or twice per week, 15 to 20 seconds of all-out effort, then full recovery. This mimics ancestral patterns, brief, powerful exertion followed by rest. Short sprints stimulate growth hormone, support muscle retention, and avoid prolonged cortisol elevation. Less duration, higher signal, better adaptation. But there's one final lever that might be even more powerful than exercise or food. It's biochemical, and it directly counters cortisol. We're talking about the hormone that shuts down stress and how to trigger it intentionally. You cannot eliminate stress entirely, but you can change your biochemical response to it. Cortisol does not operate alone. It shares a biological seesaw with another hormone, oxytocin. When oxytocin rises, cortisol naturally lowers. Oxytocin is released during bonding, connection, safety, and genuine appreciation. This is why deliberate gratitude is not just psychological, it's physiological. Take 60 seconds, not surface-level thanks, but real, felt appreciation. Sunlight on your skin, warm coffee in your hands, someone you care about. When you generate authentic appreciation, heart rate variability improves. The nervous system shifts from fight or flight into rest and digest. Digestion improves. Insulin response stabilizes. Sleep onset improves. This is not motivational fluff, it's biochemistry. Now step back and look at the full strategy. Replace chronic cardio with strategic walking and brief intensity. Fuel properly if you fast, prioritize protein and abundance signals. Protect deep sleep by stabilizing overnight blood sugar. Lower cortisol through deliberate nervous system resets. Your belly fat is not stubborn. It is protective. When the body feels safe, it releases what it no longer needs. When the threat lowers, the defenses lower. Energy returns. Inflammation decreases. The midsection softens and the spiral reverses. But here's the final question. If that 3 a.m. wake up has been your reality, if you've been doing everything right and still feel stuck, then sleep may be the deeper lever. And in the next breakdown, we're going to uncover how your liver's internal clock might be controlling the entire cycle. Stay with me.